there are news stories coming out, not just about Donald Trump, but also about Kamala Harris. I can't even believe we have to talk about this, but they keep pushing the husband like he's some kind of be-all, end-all. He could be the first gentleman, and shouldn't every guy just be like Dougie boy? I don't know about this. I don't think anybody would aspire for their husband or son to be like Dougie. So here we go. I want to show you what's coming out here of the Daily Mail today. They have an exclusive story titled Kamala Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, slapped me in the face so hard I spun around. I'm disgusted by his fake perfect spouse persona. So there's allegedly an ex-girlfriend who has spoken exclusively to dailymail.com, and she's claiming that she was slapped in the face so hard she spun around at a 2012 celebrity event in France. I don't know if it was New York Post that had this story first. They were reporting it because France, I guess, had talked about it. And now she's coming forward, interestingly enough, again, 2 weeks before the election. So I guess, two can play that game. I want to go to what they're saying here. So first of all, I should point out that Emhoff is absolutely denying all of this. He said it's absolutely positively untrue. Any suggestion that he would or has ever hit a woman is absolutely false. And they've made that very clear. But as he's out there saying, he's a total feminist and he believes in women, et cetera, I guess, you have to be, your wife's the vice president. This story is circulating. So to keep her anonymity, they called her Jane in this story. And again, this is not sourced by me at all. I want to be clear, but it is being reported in the media. And just as they're reporting some of the things that have been circulated vis-a-vis Kelly, this is getting reported as well. Like I said, two can play that game. And so they write, every time I see Doug on TV portraying the persona of a perfect spouse and non-toxic man, I wonder if Najin is watching too and feeling as disgusted as I am. Maybe that was the nanny that he took up with and reportedly impregnated. I'm sorry. We're even having to go there, all right? Like, we try and keep it clean, all right? But I'm sorry. This is what it is. And, they get the stuff on the other side, too, that they're trying to dig up from 1993 on Trump. This is all terrible politics. Last week, this quote-unquote Jane recounted her story to Daily Mail, including that Doug Emhoff slapped her so hard that she spun around. So it goes on, and they've got receipts, amazingly, from, I guess, the plane ticket where she went to Cannes with him. And she talks about how he wanted to, I guess, leave his wife way back then for her. She's reportedly a New York attorney, and they got together in 2012. He met Harris in 2014, but she was living in New York. He was living in LA, and she met him on, wait for it, Match.com. So they meet on Match.com. I wonder if he met Kamala on Match. Oh, no. That was like the Disney ABC person that introduced them. Yeah, remember that. Next time you watch Whoopi Goldberg on ABC, which is owned by Disney. Anyway, Dougie took her to drinks in Times Square. But the woman said she thought he was kind of strange because he invited his son to join them about an hour into their first date back in 2012. And she said, I should have known that was the warning sign. It was a little weird. But she said, I didn't want this kid wandering around Times Square on his own. She went on to say some pretty strong stuff about him, and he was controlling and this and that, and kind of wanted to suddenly move to London with her. I'll let you go read the article on Daily Mail. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but, because I think that, like I said, two can play that game, and they're both out there throwing mud. Right? They're throwing a lot of mud. I don't have a ton of respect for Doug, maybe just because of the nanny situation. He's not the panacea as far as I'm concerned. I don't think she has very good taste in men, frankly. I mean, he follows Willie. Don't get me going on my Willie stories. I used to live in the same building as him in San Francisco anyway. The truth is that they're panicked. They are absolutely, positively panicked. This is the 11th hour, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the biggest election of our lifetime, as they keep telling us over and over and over again. They're doing everything they can. They got Beyonce now, who's going to come out for Kamala. They've already had Taylor Swift do her part. They've had, who's the woman? Lizzo. That was a massive failure in Detroit, telling everybody, we can be just like Detroit. And she seems to forget, nobody wants to be Detroit. Not even Detroit. Not even Detroit. And then if you dare to say that you're not going to vote for Kamala Harris, then I guess you're somehow part of the misinformation, disinformation, or you're just full-on sexist.
Let me ask you about something that you said when you were running for president the last time around, back in 2019. At the time, you said that the elephant in the room...
Forgive me, I thought we were going to some MSNBC quotes. MSNBC went out and interviewed some people that were in the key demo, right? Some black women, and they said, hey, why aren't you voting for her? And they're like, it has nothing to do with sexism. It's just that we don't really feel like she understands our situation. She really doesn't understand what we're up against in terms of inflation, et cetera. And I think the same thing is being echoed by the Latino community. Take a look at this, 38% to 49%. The USA Today, Suffolk University poll, this just being released recently, but it shows you what's really, really going on here. In other words, people aren't buying it.
I mean, the bottom line is this. At this particular hour, if you believe the polling, Donald Trump's going to put up the best performance with black voters since Richard Nixon back in 1960. Not 68, since 1960. That's 64 years ago. Among Hispanic voters, Donald Trump's going to put up the best performance for Republicans since 2004 and George W. Bush.
So we'll see. We'll see. Right now, he's got the wind at his back. There's a lot of stories floating out there. Some reporters are picking them up. Is it enough to derail him? I don't really think so. But I am extraordinarily cautious only because I don't know what they're quite capable of. I really don't at this moment in time.